Welcome back to Barn DIY, and if this is your first time, thanks for joining us and please subscribe. Today I'm making a healthy recipe, a sweet recipe made out of beans. Yep, you heard it, beans. So stay tuned. So this recipe is kind of like a cookie bar version, but made really healthy for you. You do need to find a way to mash up these beans really well. So a food processor is going to be your best thing for this. You can try it in a blender, you just have to do it in little batches. A hand mixer, one of those plunging ones, works okay, but food processor is the easiest and works the best. So for ingredients, we have 2 cans of white kidney beans. That equals about 500 grams in total. You have to rinse them and drain them. We have about 1.5 to 2 cups of chocolate chips. Now you know me and my chocolate chips, the more the better. About 1.5 cups of oats, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1/3 cup of pure pumpkin. I just used the canned pure pumpkin. 2 tablespoons of canola oil, vegetable oil. You can also use coconut oil. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And in here I just have a mixture of 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. If you don't have pumpkin pie spice, you can just use all cinnamon. That works out well as too. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All of this is just gonna go into here, except your chocolate chips, you're gonna do that last. And then everything's gonna go into, I'm using a 9.5 by 13.5 baking dish that I'm gonna line with parchment paper. Use like a round cake pan, whatever you have. If it's smaller, it's just gonna be a thicker cookie, that's all. So in go the beans, oatmeal, sugar, pumpkin pie, sorry, pure pumpkin, not pumpkin pie, oil, mixture of all the dry ingredients there, and vanilla. What? Thank you. About 2 teaspoons. And we're gonna blend this up. So you can see why food processor makes this a lot easier. This is hard work when you're not using one of these. Almost there. So at this point is where I do a little taste test. If it needs more pumpkin or more sugar, maybe a dash of honey, something to sweeten it up. Depends how you like it. Some people like it a little less sweet, some people like it a little more sweet. Let's see. It's pretty good, but I'm gonna add a little more pumpkin, I think. So I just threw in about just shy of 1/3 cup again of pumpkin. I'm making this batch a little bit bigger because it's for a party. Okay, so you can see you want to let it run for a bit just to get it nice and smooth. That's a better consistency now. I'm going to take this, transfer it into the bowl because it's easier to mix in the chocolate chips in the bowl. Now this recipe can be left baked as is in the dish, but I like to add that special icing that I made in another video, the sinful buns. So we're gonna use that icing recipe and just add a little spice to it and put it on top of these. Okay, so now that that's all mixed in, again, if you want more chocolate chips, you can add more. If you want less, just cut some of them out. So I'm gonna line this with parchment paper and I'm gonna pour this evenly in there. It's gonna bake in a 350° Fahrenheit oven for anywhere from 35 to about 40 minutes. Oh, these look so good. So they've been in the oven for about 35 minutes now. We're gonna take them out, put them on a cooling rack. Keep in mind, they need to cool for a good maybe hour or 2 hours before you put any icing on them or do anything to them at all. You can tell they're done by simply inserting a toothpick into it. If the toothpick comes out clean, then it's done. Up here, I'll be linking a video where you can watch the icing that I made for sinful buns. The only difference that I'm using this time, I'm adding some of the pumpkin spice and some of the cinnamon into the icing. So everything else is exactly the same. I used a tiny bit more cream cheese just to make it a little bit thicker. I'm gonna spread that over top of the cookie bars as soon as they've cooled off. And then we'll be cutting them into squares. So again, if you watch that video, I think it's around the 6:35 mark in that video. That's it. Cut them up. They will probably be gone sooner than they will expire, but they should last in the fridge for about a week in a sealed container. So thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and join us again soon. Thank you.